Welcome to another episode of Unboxed Live. I'm your host, Rob Gagner.
And I'm your other host, Nate Beck.
We did not know how to do that intro because I've been soloing this for so long going, I'm your host. And it's like, wait a minute, Nate's also a host as well. So shout out to Nate for coming up with a good intro. Love it. So we are sitting here because we have Stogiebird has just released some new packaging. I've done several unboxings of their stuff. I absolutely love their program. I'm going to kind of get in a little bit deeper into all the different facets because quite honestly, if there's not a subscription that you like, I'd be very surprised. There's like something for everyone.
Absolutely.
And it's one of the more unique things that I like about this Cigar of the Month Club because it has some uniqueness to it that might fit the type of subscription that you're looking for. But to kick it off, I want to watch a quick video where I flew out and met Sam Leccia, the founder, and we talked about where the heck this Stogie word came from. And Sam's going to fill us in on it real quick here in this cut. So check it out. We'll be right back. Watch this quick video of how Stogie even came about.
You know, the word Stogie originated in Pennsylvania, Conestoga, PA. They made, you know, this story gets told a lot, but it's a local term to, Pennsylvania. So it bears repeating, and I use Stogie and Stogiebird, so I get asked, why. Anyway, Conestoga made the wagons that would carry the tobacco. They called them Stogie wagons. They ended up calling the cigars Stogie. So I like to use Stogie because it's a local term. And I thought it would be cool to kind of revamp some of these old cigar brands. And just research after research, I ran into a couple of people that were sitting on a lot of this stuff. This one guy was the grandson of the original owner of one of the largest factories in Pennsylvania. And he's an 82-year-old grandson, so he's not like he's a 22-year-old kid trying to sell stuff. He's an 82-year-old, he's had this forever, and he's kept it very well, so this stuff's very dear to him.
Factory, cigar factory.
Correct.
Not a factory for printing this stuff.
This wasn't a lithograph company. No, this wasn't like consolidated lithographs. This was the end. These were going to be put on cigars that were never made. It's fun stuff.
It's a piece of history.
So do you get vintage fresh now?
I get vintage fresh now.
Yeah.
When you said it before, I was like, I don't know if I want to smoke that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the cigars are not old. They're not trying to. I'm not trying to recreate these blends. There's no information.
The labels
on these blends.
The labels and this stuff is the only vintage part of this.
Yeah.
The rest of this is fresh.
But it's just cool to have something that was printed 100 years ago. It's been sitting in that box. Some of these were in the 50s or whatever, but I've got a lot that was in the teens.
So
That's super cool.
Is just amazing. I had no idea where the word Stogie came from.
I didn't either.
There's just so much of this stuff that we do that or say or anything, and you're just like, where did that even come from? The people who are making the wagons to carry the stuff, their name was Stogie. So unbelievable. Let's bring in Sam Leccia from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, for joining us. Thank you, Sam.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
We're doing well.
And it's Conestoga, PA, and the wagons were called Stogie wagons. And then eventually
so
the cigars were called Stogies.
Yeah.
Conestoga.
Stogie.
And they made these wagons to carry lots of things, but a majority of what they carried was tobacco. So they called them Stogie wagons. That's the term that these things are still called today. And they're actually all over Pennsylvania, like these old Stogie wagons. Wow. And then they eventually called the cigars Stogies, but that's the correlation.
That's how it got started.
I learned two things. One, I didn't know that Conestoga wagons were made in Pennsylvania. And two, that then would become eponymous with cigars.
But you knew what a Conestoga wagon was?
Yeah.
My God, Nate.
Well, they're made in Conestoga, Pennsylvania.
Conestoga, Pennsylvania.
Nate always surprises me with the stuff that he hears and knows. I mean, that keeps up in that labyrinth that he calls his brain.
The Cliff Clavin, though.
Dude,
useless
you
knowledge.
are the Cliff Clavin. Go sit at the end of the bar, drink your Miller Lite, and tell me something else I don't know.
Yeah, Normie, the Conestoga, they made these wagons.
Yeah, I love it. That's a perfect rendition of that right there. Yeah. Okay, so what we were talking about in that video though was vintage fresh. which is basically you're taking these old brands that you've bought basically the antique remnants of the bands and basically the box
Man,
image.
you want to grab me a couple cool boxes of vintage fresh bands? Sorry,
And then-
I'll show some bands
Perfect.
since you're bringing it up.
And really what it is you're then just saying, hey, we have these brands, and are you buying the rights to the brands, or are they just dead rights so anyone can kind of make it and put a band on?
Well, some I am, because there's a lot of materials for it, so I could make cigars for years to come. So, or they're just good names or good, there's something about it that I certainly did. And others are just kind of, I got small amounts, so I'm just running them, and they're kind of one and done. But they don't have to. They're old. They're way past any. They're up for grabs, if you will.
Yeah.
I don't want to reveal any trade
These
secrets.
things are.
How'd you
these bands
stumble
come in
upon these bands?
Ancient ass boxes. This one's
Wow.
1915 is the date on that. I don't know if you can see it.
Where did you find all these?
Well, I was looking to buy, because of the FDA thing and the having a predicate brands, people were, trying to buy up brands. That wasn't
Sure.
People are still doing that.
Sure.
But they've done it with Cuban brands. They've done it with, bigger name stuff or, stuff made other places. But no one thought of doing something just, ultra, like a true American-made cigar one time. I mean, Pennsylvania not only was the largest grower of tobacco in the world at one time, they were also the largest manufacturer of cigars. And people don't realize that, but Pennsylvania has a huge history of not only tobacco, but cigars. So I just thought it'd be cool to bring one of these things back to life. And after, going through channels and then finally meeting, I don't even want to say his name because I don't want anyone to ever meet this guy but me. He's my secret guy. I stumbled across this guy from people telling me I needed to meet him, and sure enough, he's got everything you can imagine because his family made these cigars. So, and he's kept everything in pristine shape. I mean, when I say that these boxes, majority of them have never been opened. They have been sealed for some of them over 100 years old.
Wow.
And they come in these old, lithograph boxes, and these
This is
are
like an episode of American Pickers.
Oh yeah.
It's so much like that. It's so much like that.
Wow.
And then, this is one of the trying to
Dude, and the
backwards
glue.
because we're on camera.
Some of them have like the
this is the
tackiness.
this cigar is called Odd Moments, which is this one we're going to do with we've got a cigar using with this with Robert Caldwell. So we're going to do some odd things with this cigar. It's a fun name.
Well, yeah,
I love it.
When I think of odd people, I think of Robert right away.
Right? He wouldn't argue that. Here's another one. This is, again, consolidated lithograph. This one's from 1948, if you can see that. So this one's a little newer. And again,
Look at that. Just unbelievable.
I mean, these are just beautiful. And
That's
like the
unbelievable.
embossing and all of that. That's just the way these things are.
You don't see that much
Somebody
anymore.
Had to hand print that.
Well, it's
Is that-
lithograph, so it's done in layers. If you understand how
That's what I
lithograph
mean.
works.
Like, and the lithograph guys were actually getting paid quite a bit of money. It's kind of like being a digital designer or something nowadays. Like,
Oh, it's an art form for sure.
It was a high art form that got a high pay because it was a skill set where you're using these massive stones to kind of create these layers of color and complexity and stamping. And I don't know.
That's
I don't
pretty
know
cool.
enough about it, but I know it was a lot.
But you come across some cool ones, and we launched with Red Tips as our first inaugural one because of the horseshoe bringing us good luck to this project, and the fact that we have a ton of these. We've got probably enough Red Tips for the next couple of years as far as bands are concerned. And I don't really anticipate or want to recreate any of these bands. So these isn't like, hey, that's a great band, let's get them made at at a label company. No. I have not rebranded or reprinted any of this stuff. This is all original printing, and I don't anticipate or want to do that. That's not the purpose of this particular project. It doesn't.
That's what I
but
think.
You get
is
a couple
cool
of.
about
I do too.
You find a couple of gems.
It keeps it far more special.
What is that one
Oh,
called?
for sure. Well, this is Peggy O'Neill, and she's very special and dear to
Peggy
us because and this one was one of our oldest bands. This is, I think, 90s or 1880s, the Peggy O'Neill. It doesn't really matter, but it's
Wow.
it's an 1800 band. We don't have many of these left. But what's cool is not only do you have, like, who's Peggy O'Neill? So you got to go and you do all this research. And I highly recommend anybody look up Peggy O'Neill, because she was quite the character. Maybe comparable to a Kim Kardashian. Maybe she was a very attractive woman who dated very high profile men, had a ton of money, and she liked her men. And in fact, she died penniless to, I think, like an 18 or 19-year-old husband. She was in her 80s or 90s, and he ran her dry, and she didn't care. She was getting everything she wanted out of him. So it's just a fun story. And, there's a lot of, in fact, the Grateful Dead, their song Peggy-O is in reference to Peggy O'Neill. There's again, who the hell was Peggy O'Neill before I found this band, So it's cool to kind of look up the history on all this. So when I look up some of these names, I look at the history, and it's great. Some of these guys there's some stuff we're coming out with that have a much deep history that we're going to build all that together. So
that is awesome. And then the box tops. So like you got the jars, and then you put basically on the inside of the box, they put like basically the lithograph of the brand, and you have that as well. So do you have any of those to show? Cause like when you see it on your website, and
can
it's
you
like,
grab me a couple box art and grab me one jar of red tips? Sorry.
That
we'll
piece
pull that
of
up.
paper that comes in there, that's an antique. Not only are all the bands that come on the cigars the antique, but like the actual, I don't know, label, the tube label, which is on the inside, which should have been on the inside of a box, is from the 1800s or 1900s. Is like crazy.
Right. And if anything, if there's anything we're going to maybe reprint, it might be one of those, if we're going to put it on a bundle or to do something, because I don't have a ton of the box inserts, but when I do, they go part of the packaging, So if you get a Red Tips jar, we don't glue it. We thought about doing all those things, but I didn't want to ruin it,
It's a piece of history. You could literally frame that.
Yes.
And it is literally a piece of history. So hats off to you for coming up with something no one else has done. Very cool, very interesting. And if you're a history buff, like, get in there and buy this now, because you're basically giving away your antique collectibles.
Well, it's certainly going to make the antique band market more valuable, because it's basically like putting a collective stamp through the mail. They become useless once they're on a cigar. So I'm actually helping the community out as much as they probably hate me for doing it.
Right.
But yeah, this is one I think you pulled up on the video. I like how it's Irvin S. Cobb, or is it Irvin's Cobb? I'm not real sure, but it's fun nonetheless. And of course, all of these guys have good stories. And again, the Red Tips will come in a jar, and you get to keep that sheet. So I don't want to open this all up, but this sheet is in it, and you can reuse it or repurpose it. I didn't glue it or ruin it in any way, so that it can be done that way.
I just looked up Peggy O'Neill, and in 1920, she survived an assassination attempt.
What?
I'm telling you,
there's dog, and they never found out who tried to kill her. Like, she survived being poisoned. Somebody tried to kill her.
Oh my
no
God.
way.
It's great, and that's what's so fun about it is I've been doing cigars for 20 years, and usually you're coming up with something, you're not reusing something, and when you're handed all of these interesting brands and interesting stories and interesting names, and you start looking it up, it's more fun than coming up with your own stuff, because this stuff is real. These are real people that existed, that have real history, very rich history, that people just you don't hear of everybody, and some of these people are worth revisiting, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And Peggy O'Neill is definitely one of them.
Heck, we're sitting here. We've been keeping the audience all kind of at bay here with this new packaging. So I want to get into it, because the new packaging is off the chain. You used to ship everything in a tube, and the tube was very nice. It was well made. It had all your branding on it. Loved it. And now you've gone to a more formal box, and I'll get into why I like that a little bit better. But I think it's hands down, this packaging is phenomenal. And I'm really surprised when you tell me that it's not more expensive than the tubes, because it looks a lot more expensive.
Well, and again, I got tubes in China, so the tubes were relatively inexpensive, but it's the shipping that kills you with
So now this is
bringing anything
stateside?
from China. Yes, this is all made of 100% recycled materials, recycled dyes. You can eat this and it won't harm you. And of course,
Wow.
it's all recyclable because of that.
That's nice. Well, I
so
like
yeah.
the first box, which is the shipper box, because it's going to protect, obviously, the beautiful box.
An extra layer of protection for sure.
Yeah.
Let's
So initially, that sleeve that you see, well, I'll talk. When you pull it out,
No, go ahead. Talk about the sleeve.
The sleeve was meant to be a shipping sleeve. So I was going to ship the box in that sleeve. But
Okay.
when they got printed, I'm like, there's no way I'm putting this through the mail. It's
Yeah,
way
right.
too
It's
beautiful.
too pretty, man.
So I'm like, now we got to put a box for our box. So,
In a box?
had to put these in a box. So, we were going to do things a little differently. But when these things came out, there was just no way I was letting that get jacked up in the mail.
Right.
So we had custom boxes fit them.
Pull the sleeve out here.
Yeah. So if you're giving somebody a gift, dude, this thing is already
Look at
ready
that.
to go. This is like the best gift wrapping, some of the best gift wrapping I've ever seen in the industry.
And of course, we got
see
QR
the
codes
bird
everywhere.
there?
We've incorporated the QR code in our logo, and so you can just go right into your account. We've got it on our bags, so you can just
You
click,
get that, Matt?
take a picture of that, and it'll take you right to your account and make any changes or order anything you need.
Code up here. Love that. You
Those
can
have kind of become popular once again. They didn't do so well 10, 15 years ago.
No.
Now they're
Right.
now they're
When
the
COVID
rage.
hit and everyone has to use them at the restaurants.
This is so
Well, they've
cool.
made them easier. You don't need an additional app. You can just use your
Right.
camera now. So that's what makes
Thank
it
you,
even better.
Apple, for finally paying attention.
Right.
But that inside, there is obviously the Stogiebird bag, which is a great bag, very big. You can fit all of your cigars in there. There's 8 cigars in there, and there were 4 more that Sam, you had sent me. So, and I still had room to throw more in there. So
We
I
got
love
our
it as a
bag.
travel bag.
And all those bags, those are vacuum sealed, heat sealed bags, vacuum heat
Right.
sealed bags
Right.
that are vapor locked.
What I love about this, and let's break this down because this is all over the website, this
Yep.
sheet.
Yep.
If you go back on the website to the past different boxes, you can look up to see what's been sent. But you have 3 columns. And so if you order 2 sticks a month, this is what you get in this column. If you order 5, then you get this column and the second column. And then if you order the 8, you get all 3 columns.
Correct.
So what I like about it is if I don't know what I'm missing out, why would I ever move up to 5 or 8? If I'm sitting at 5, I'm going to be like, oh, no, this is great. But, oh, crap, I missed out on that warp cigar. I wanted to really try that. I should have just got the 8,
Right.
and I love that.
Right.
So
And that's why the 8's our best seller. I mean, it's hands down our best seller. What
It's a
also become
fantastic
popular
value.
is our 8+ bonus. It's like we can't get enough cigars. Those are always where we offer more cigars is where we typically sell the most. I thought the $20 package would be by and large our best deal, but most people will buy that as an intro and they move right up pretty quickly.
Yeah. And then the stickers, of course, you guys create your own stickers, which are just one-offs. Like this is like the Stanley logo, the
Mhm.
Top Gun logo. I love it. They're just fun. They're fun stickers
You
to
got
get
Freud
everyone.
here.
We do a lot of different fun things with the stickers. So I'm a sticker fan, and it's kind of been part of us since day one.
You
We used to
need
buy stickers, and now we custom make stickers. And
That's awesome.
we're actually looking to get a full printer to just do all of this in house.
Oh, cool.
That'd be awesome. Well,
Same with our sheets. We had talked about our sheets. We want to upgrade the quality of our sheets, but I'd rather have that built all in house to do it than to hire a company to pay, to print them. We do
Right.
so much printing that it's worth it to just buy it.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
we do, how many to that? We do over 10,000 stickers a month.
Do you really?
Plus the sheets. We're a printing machine. So to do that in-house would make sense for us.
now
Love
you
that.
have this month's box. I don't have this month's box. I have last month's box. But Sam, you have this month's box. If you want to go through any cigars,
Sure.
great.
Sure.
If you guys want to see anything, you can even go to stogiebird.com And if you go there, I would suggest going up to the top. Let's just share that website real quick. Let's see if we can pull it up here. Yeah, right there. So this is past, up at the top left, it says past months. You go ahead and click on that. And then this is what it brings you to. It brings you to this great website where this is the brand of the month, which was Christoph. Now, the brand of the month, to me, you guys, this is a huge differentiator between Stogiebird and any other Cigar of the Month club.
Yes.
Because what this brings, if you can go back, there are 8 Christoph cigars here. Now, I can't get all 8 of these at my local shop.
Right.
I don't have access to all of them. And if I'm very interested in what Christoph has to offer, I want to try everything to see what I like.
Yep.
And I do use this actually quite often when Sam sends me these boxes. I'm like, okay, I save those bands. I put them in my notebook and I say, yes, I like, that was a little too bitter. Might try it again. Or I might just write it off as like, that was totally not in my wheelhouse of flavors, but I absolutely love that. And it's $70. You get a ton of great stuff. You get some freebies usually sometimes in there. Like one time Sam had mass. And then this is obviously the sheet for this month. So we can go back to Sam because he's got some unique cigars in here. One of them being Kanye West, co-owner of the.
No, not Kanye. Not Kanye.
Oh, wait.
Nas.
Yes, that I know really well.
If it was Kanye, everybody would know.
I listen to Dave Matthews, man. Don't ask me about rap.
Every order comes with a free pair of shoes.
Yeah, unless it's Dr.
Yeah,
Dre
right.
2001, I don't know about it. That was the last time I stopped listening to rap.
I ain't
This
mad at you.
subscription got really expensive this month.
So this month, again, the brand of the month is Christoph, and you're going to get the Christoph Maduro with it. And typically, how we do that, like even with our sheet, the first cigar is usually the cigar of the month. So that means that everyone will get that. And if you buy a 2, a 5, or an 8, you're going to get the brand, one cigar from the brand of the month.
Yep.
So that's kind of a feature we give, our vendors so that they're going to be in everything. They literally are in everything we ship. So they are our brand of the month. And then in addition to that, you're going to get a new release, the Eleanor Rose, which is made by Sereno.
That's a great stick.
Yeah. This is doing really well for us. We've been smoking this a lot.
TPE, and tons of people came up to me and were like, "That smells amazing." It's
very good.
Super.
I haven't smoked that yet. I'll have to.
Oh yeah.
So this is what you'd get if you got the 2-pack.
Okay.
And I mean, you had mentioned gifts, and we certainly do a lot of gifts as well. But if you get $20 in a gift card, what are you going to buy for $20 today? Right. Yet $20 a month gets you 2 cigars with an information and all kinds of other stuff shipped to your house. We don't even charge you shipping. I mean, you can't beat that.
No.
Right.
And of course, always options to upgrade, but I mean, you can't. It's a very good value for $20.
Right.
But then once you get into the 5-pack, you're going to get the Warhawk. This was highly rated. I'm actually a big fan of.
That's a phenomenal.
It's a great cigar.
Of the Henry Clay, all of the Henry Clays, really, they're very good. It's also an old brand. This thing's been around. These the red tips and that have been around probably around the same time. These have both been on shelves around the same time. Believe it or not. That's kind of what's interesting too. But back to the vintage fresh is the bands. You'd think they'd be so different, but they really aren't.
Yeah.
So anyway, the Henry Clay you're going to get. We're kind of run through this. The cigar that is owned part by Nas is the Escobar. This is a nice boutique smoke that's people are really getting excited about. It's all over social media right now, so we're excited to have this part of it. We were going to smoke this today as our smoke, but that package didn't get to you today, so we'll do that again. And then the last with the 5 is you're going to get the Manzamuzza Gold, which is a very interesting story. This comes with a little extra info this month. You're going to get one of these cards. We always ask the vendors, say, look, if you want to give us, give my guys as much information, I'll put anything you want into our packs to help you explain your product and your cigar even better than we can, or, just to give it straight from your mouth. And so this is, what they provided for us this month. And this is a very interesting cigar. And we've kind of did two. This part of we kind of threw this in. Thought it'd be a cool Black History Month kind of cigar. Same with the not that you have to be or whatever, but just trying to give a little homage. This has got a great history to it.
Wasn't Mansa Musa like the richest ruler to ever rule in Africa?
Yeah, his wealth is estimated to have been at over 500 billion.
It's humongous. Yeah. It's just crazy.
I mean, the encyclopedia again pops out. Nate, tell us all about Mansa Musa.
I'm trying to remember. Was he based out of
all
Timbuktu?
here. It's all this information's right here.
Is that where Timbuktu came from?
I don't know if that's where he was, but
I'm going to send you to Timbuktu.
he was insanely wealthy. Yeah.
And that's the band.
So
Very
cool.
cool. So that's a
So
pretty
that would
hard
round
cigar
out,
to find, right?
That would round
Not
out
very
the
big.
5. To finish up the 8, you're going to get, this is the one of the first cigars by Alec and Bradley, known as Alec Bradley Cigars, named after his 2 sons. So this is the Kintsugi. You're going to get that.
That's got a cool
And-
story because kintsugi just means to recraft something that's been broken to a higher point. I'm being encyclopedia now.
Right.
Nate's going to correct me because I don't know all this, but
It's a cool.
like they take pottery and they put it together with gold.
Yeah.
And then it becomes more valuable than when you first broke it.
Correct.
So I go to my house and all my wife's pottery, I break it and then I send it off to get kintsued. And she goes, "What are you doing?" No, just kidding.
It kind of sounds like our Vintage Fresh program.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
You're also going to get the Leather Rose by Deadwood, made by made by Drew Estate. Obviously, these are super popular. And the last on the list for this month is the La Palina Silver. That rounds out this month's 8, and then plus the brand of the month, which is eight cigars from
Look at
Where's my
this.
sheet,
Somebody
man?
else gets to struggle with the box and not just me.
right. Well,
Thanks, man.
you were supposed to have these. I wasn't going to do this. So that caught me off guard a little, but that's
I
nothing wrong
did.
with that.
I
Anyway, you're
told
going
him,
to
hey,
get
tomorrow, you want to join me for?
quite the array.
I just
of
absolutely
stuff
love that, Sam.
in this month.
I
I'm just-
think the
they're all
first
of these.
one
You're
you
gonna get all
sent
of
me, the first brand of the month you sent me, I think, was Blackbird. And I was like, oh, yes, I finally get to try all these Blackbird cigars that I see all over the internet and I can't get them at my local shop. So boom, he sent me it and I was like, wow. And the purple one was amazing, which was Unkind. The Cuckoo, which is the red one, was amazing. And actually, we are smoking Blackbird cigar right now. We're smoking the Rough Grouse. So tell us how
Can
you
get a
came
shot of this here.
up with
We're good.
the
Okay.
Rough Grouse with
Thank you.
Blackbird, because you kind of like pitched this to them and they were like, yeah, okay.
I do a lot of stuff with Blackbird. They in addition to buying, their
Super cool.
line, which does very well for us. We've had pretty much everything they make in our program at one time or another. They also make the American Rebel cigar for us, which
Cool.
which I make for for Cody Rhodes and for Frankie Kazarian, professional wrestlers. We also have one coming out with Chavo Guerrero as well. It's in the works. Hopefully in the next couple of months that'll launch. And we're moving. We are in the middle of moving into a new location. We haven't totally signed all the paperwork. There's a lot of things that have to be done before it gets finalized. So it might not happen, but it's looking pretty strong that we're going to get this old church. It's basically across the river from where we are now, and
Cool.
turn it into Stogiebird headquarters. We'll do all our production there, but it's going to be a pretty cool club. The upstairs is it's 6,000 square foot church.
Road trip.
We're going to have live music, comedy. And we're even going to buy a wrestling ring, a 16 by 16.
Get outta
ring,
here.
and do monthly wrestling shows. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you have quite the connection with wrestling. You're a big fan.
I have always been a fan. Since I was a kid and went to the matches at the Civic Arena, and since I launched Luchador, it has opened the door for a lot of wrestlers to approach me, I guess. and I've met a ton over the years, and a lot that I work with. And when these guys come into Pittsburgh to do their shows, they come here and smoke cigars. So it's really cool. They're great guys to work with. They're a lot of fun, and I certainly want to continue doing that with them. But in addition to that, we did this ruffed grouse. So Jonas, he's the owner of Blackbird. He actually said, I want to do something, get you guys an exclusive cigar. So he's like, let's do something. And I said, well, if we're going to do a bird, it's got to be the state bird of Pennsylvania, the ruffed grouse. It's not only a cool name, it's a unique bird. And there's just, to me, it's the perfect cigar for Pennsylvania, and even to add to his portfolio. So I had told him, I'm like, look, I really don't think that this being exclusive, especially once we got the blend down and we did the band and everything came in, I said, Jonas, I don't want you to keep this exclusive. I think this thing's a winner for you, and I don't want to hold you back on this. So I do believe he was going to launch it this year, but we're going to launch the Maduro this year with Stogiebird. We're doing a whole new line with this one, and then I think 2 years he'll eventually launch those as part of his packaging. But
super cool.
So right now the Rough Grouse has a Habano wrapper, which is phenomenal. One of my favorites. This blend
this is actually the only Habano wrapper that he makes.
Right. That's
right.
That's what I'm so excited about, because when you said, oh, you like Blackbird? Have you had this? And I was like, no. And he's like, yeah, of course you haven't. This is exclusive through me right now. But you did tell me that he was supposed to launch this year. This box press is phenomenal. Yeah. The Robusto is fine as well, but I'm a box press fan, so I love it. And then on top of it, you're going to take the Maduro, and it's going to be Pennsylvania broadleaf, which is just another one of my favorite. I mean, who doesn't like the chewy Pennsylvania broadleaf, slightly sweet? Oh, it's phenomenal.
Delicious. This has Pennsylvania in the filler. The Maduro will obviously have it in the wrapper.
Where in Pennsylvania are they growing all this tobacco? What part of the state?
Most of it is in the middle of the state. It's
okay.
It's like, it would be like the drive over part of Pennsylvania, which is like 5 hours between us and Philly is where a majority of that all grows. There's just nothing in between Philly and Pennsylvania. Even Harrisburg is a little town. It's not much in Harrisburg.
What did Tiffany
say? Most of it is in the middle in Amish land,
Do you know who Tiffany B is? All bangers. She said it's a solid box.
Well, good. I love her.
And then
loving it.
What did Nate? Hi, Sam from John. And then what did Nathan say? He says, thanks for the love, Tiff. So these people must know each other. It's great. All right. The other part of this that I wanted to talk about was kind of the way we did our thumbnail. We got this thing on your website called Giving somebody the bird, which I think is brilliant.
I love it.
And so if you look at our thumbnail, it's Nate holding up the bird. Got to go to Stogiebird homepage right there, and then scroll down. Unfortunately, the bird is not in the subscriptions tab, so Sam will change that later.
There it is.
But it's right there. And I absolutely love, add that one to the stream if you can, Matt, that video.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what we're looking at.
Yeah, we'll get it pulled up here. He's getting it pulled up.
We did do a coupon code for it's Boveda as a coupon code for, what is it? 15% off. If coupon code Boveda. That would include any of our sale items, but definitely good for subscriptions.
Awesome.
We'll post a comment down at the bottom, Matt. Post a comment that says coupon down at the bottom. It says post a comment right there. Just write it in and then post.
It's live. It's already up. It's
coupon and then the word Boveda. And does it have to be all capital, or doesn't
No,
matter?
it doesn't.
Okay.
Coupon and then Boveda. 15% off. No. Coupon, do colon.
There we go.
Boveda, and then that'll get them 15% off. So we'll put that up in the chat. There's a coupon code. We'll put it in the description as well. But I absolutely love the fact that you can give somebody a gift, and the packaging is off the charts. Everything you buy from
I love it.
Stogiebird is in this box always. not just a subscription, but everything you buy. And so you get this beautiful box. And if you give someone the bird, go ahead and click on that, Matt. It should come up with the details of it. And really all you're doing is paying, you get the 5 cigars, which is $40 a month, and then $5 for basically shipping, because you're not subscribing. You just kind of are paying for the shipping that way. So it's brilliant because you can give somebody a really nice box with really great information and great gift wrapping. I absolutely love that. You also have,
and you can decide how many you want to give them too. It's not just the 5.
Oh.
You can click on the down and you can get them whatever you want.
oh, sure.
Awesome.
Oh, wow.
I love that.
Like I said, if there's not a box out there for you,
You're not looking.
you're
at
not
that.
looking at this.
No.
This whole.
Well, and yeah, and another thing too, if you go to subscriptions, click on that. In addition to our normal, 2, 5, 8, and the 8 bonus is going to be the 8 plus 4 additional cigars. But if you scroll down a little more, we've got some options for people that like the buddy system. If you've got a buddy and you want to go halves on a monthly subscription, or a neighbor or whatever, you can get the buddy system, and you can decide if you got 3 buddies, 4 buddies, 2 buddies. We will make pairs of cigars based on how you order.
Click on that
So-
though, real quick.
So 3
I
or 4
love that.
people can go in on that.
And
If you look at the cigar count, there's 4 pairs. But you
click
can
on that.
change that to a lot of different, depending on
That
how many
is
people go in on.
Oh, cool.
Unbelievable, because I coined this as maybe you don't like to smoke alone, so you need the supporter. So the buddy system is your choice. So I love smoking. Like Nate, you and
Yeah.
I do this all the time.
All the time.
I'm like, hey, you got to try this, and we like to smoke it together.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that I'm getting not just 8 different cigars, and he smokes one and he goes, oh, I really like this. And I go, son of a gun, I wanted to try that.
Right.
I get the opportunity then to give him a cigar and not feel bad about it. And then I get to smoke it as well and go, I didn't really like that. I'm surprised you liked that. And he's like, yeah, I did. And then I absolutely love that. That is so perfect, because cigars are a community thing. And this provides that for me right in my box every month.
Matt, if you want to throw that bottom comment up there, I think we'll love seeing this from Juju Ninja. I've been looking for a subscription box. I'm going to give this a try. Excellent.
You're gonna love us, buddy.
Oh,
So
Ooh,
in addition to the buddy system, look at some of those other options, because it just kind of rolls it fits everybody's
yeah.
palate to some degree.
Totally.
If you only want mild cigars, we have a program for that. If you only want full-bodied cigars, we got a program for that.
Yeah, go back
If
to
you
the
only
website.
want fat cigars, you only want ring gauge of 54 and up, we gotcha. If you only
Really?
want small cigars, we gotcha. Just these more tailor fit programs do not
Size matters.
do not come with an information sheet. So the buddy system will because we will grab from our selection. So you're going to get the sheet, and you can pair up what we put
Go
in
to
it.
size
Oh, I love
right
that.
there and look at this. So if you like bigger ring gauge, great. If you like smaller ring gauge, great. If you like length 6+, great. If you want something that's shorter because you don't have a lot of time this
Right.
winter, you can switch it, and you can switch
I
this
love
stuff
that.
on the fly. So in the wintertime, I can say, I want everything 5 inches and under. Great. Now in the summertime, when I'm out on my boat, great. Go to the 6+, and I can
Uh-huh.
get all that. So
Yep.
I mean, and then
These are just a little more tailor fit, but they do not come with an information sheet. And
Gotcha.
sometimes there are doubles from month to month. We don't track these as much.
Sure.
Our bread and butter is our main subscriptions with our information sheet. This is just for people that want what they want. But
Sure.
and usually that person is a little more savvy anyway. So you're not going to get the information card in that.
the strength one,
But the information's available out there.
the strength one is similar, where it's like, hey, I like mild strength cigars, or I like heavy. If you go down to strength in that window, you're able to click on that. And then the other nice thing I like about it is like, hey, maybe I don't like it every 30 days. You can change it to 60, to 90, whatever you
You
want.
can change
That
it to
top-
15. You can change it to 7.
Right.
Look at that.
I mean,
Love
if
that.
you
We ship
want
cigars every week to customers. It's a lot of people do the 15.
unbelievable.
They get them every 2 weeks.
And Sam, is shipping included in the price that you see there on
Shipping is
every order?
included. It's crazy. Shipping is free.
How is
It's
that
included.
possible?
I don't know. We don't make any money. it's
And then go to gift ideas, because here's another thing that I thought of. Nate, you had talked about this. Hopefully your mom doesn't watch the show, but
no, there's
Nate got a
0% chance.
got a shirt this year, and it really wasn't his style from his mom. And he's like, man, Mom, if you could just go and get me like a gift card at a smoke shop, I'd really appreciate it. Well, guess what? Mom can now go here and say, hey, I was going to spend $100 anyways on you, so I'll get you a 6-month prepaid subscription. It stops for her after you've hit your, 6 months.
Yep.
But how great is that? Like, you don't even have to gift wrap it. You just have to click the button, put the credit card in, and your loved one is going to get every month something from you for 6 months or 3 months or 12 months. It's unbelievable. For 12 months, I can give somebody the gift of cigars for $240 out of my pocket. That's not that much at all. I seriously,
we have customers that buy this,
amazing.
That buy those gifts for their accountant, for their attorney, for their doctor, for their mechanic. I ship these as gifts because, hey, this is my mechanic. If I give him 2 cigars every month when I have a problem, this guy's gonna love me. And, and it works. So we definitely ship a lot as gifts as well, for sure.
And if you're not a cigar smoker and you don't want to venture out into a cigar shop and come out smelling like a cigar shop, you can do this right from the comfort of your couch.
Oh, I think the beauty of the whole program is it introduces people to cigars that they would have either overlooked or have never seen. When people going into a humidor, it can be intimidating for people that aren't, don't know what they want or don't know what they like. It can be very overwhelming, and guys don't like to ask for directions, and they don't like to ask for help. So sometimes you just put it together and say, hey, this is going to be really good for you. And they're always happy. So there's a benefit to just getting cigars that you don't have to think about. You don't have to decide if you think they're going to be good. I wouldn't put anything in this program that I wouldn't, that I don't put my name behind. I mean, there's just no reason to do that. I think every month, I'm only as good as my last subscription. It doesn't matter. Everyone could leave. If I put in all crap next month, they're all going to leave. So, I'm only as good as my last subscription. So I'm fully aware of that.
And I think this only adds to customers getting cigars like this that they might not be able to find in their local shop. Now they're going to go, hey, I really like this flavor. They're going to go into their shop and say, do you have something that's also like this? And they're going to buy more cigars from their local shop.
Absolutely. And in addition to some of our exclusive cigars, if shops want to carry some of them, they're available for wholesale. So if they want to bring in our vintage fresh, they can sell our vintage fresh. And we're also going to be distributing the ruffed grouse. At least we're going to start doing it locally in Pennsylvania. So it'll be a Pennsylvania exclusive cigar distributed from us, but available to any store in Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's great.
Throw out that question, Claude. Is the rough
neither? It's neither. It's neither. We did that a while ago. We'll be doing a Maduro soon, but it is available. All of these cigars that you find in the subscription, if you go in the sampler in the cigar store, they're available. We have that ruffed grouse. We have it on a 4-pack or just a 5-pack.
Throw up the cigar store again real quick, and we will.
The ruffed grouse is available on a 5-pack. So, and you could use your discount code for that. That would give you 15% off.
So gift, there you go.
Go to samplers.
Samplers. Scroll down.
Cigar store. You're in the same. You're right.
Oh, there you go.
Right in there, and you'll find all kinds of stuff in here.
Look at that.
Scroll down.
And this is all just if the top row is things that were in last month's that we are that are now available in samplers. But if you keep going to actually scroll up, you're going to find that in our exclusive cigars. So go back.
Hit the back button once.
I thought that was under
right there.
There it is.
Rough grouse.
There it is.
I never have to buy them on my site, so I don't know where they are.
Yeah, right. You just go back into and by the way,
we just make sure it's
literally a closet that these guys are working out of. So if you saw the video that first started out this stream, you're going to see it. In fact, we got another video that we can play so you guys can see probably what is going on. But literally walk in, and for the last, how long, 4 years that you've been operating, you've been literally operating out of a closet.
Yeah, and right now there's probably $500,000 in that room right now. It's a little bigger than a closet, but we call it the closet for sure.
It's a generous closet, but man, it sure makes it sound great when you say it's a closet, because it's amazing. We got another.
But we have another building too that holds all of our packaging. So I have another warehouse that's got all of these boxes and pallets and everything else. So We have a couple
Right.
of facilities, but our humidor, yeah, it's not that big, but it's got everything you want in it.
It's amazing. Let's play that next video. So check this out and we'll be right back.
See, I always pick up a sweetness from Habano. Like there's a bit of a sweetness in this that just kind of, it's like the finishing touch to like a good cream soda or like a good milkshake or good ice cream really in general. Real cream, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just kind of rounds it out for me.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if it's like all down the center of my tongue, it's like, whoa, that's like bitter in the back, really spicy up front, and I don't have any lateral tongue action. And then I'm kind of like, what do I do with this? And then my palate gets kind of like, that's
Lateral tongue action and tingly.
And-
That's the takeaway from today so far. I need a tingly. If you
Lateral tongue
can find a cigar that gives you a tingly lateral cigar action. Or wait, what was it again?
lateral tongue action.
Lateral tongue action. A tingly lateral tongue action. That's what you need. That's a good T-shirt.
That is a great Stogiebird sticker right there.
So yeah, we're waiting for the lateral tongue sticker. You can put my image on it if you want.
Rob and I will sport that. We'll be your first customers.
I think we need to take the box press image and then with the tongue out and be like, I need some lateral tongue action.
I think we called the wrong guy Cliff, is what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Oh, I love it. All right. Well, this has been a lot of fun. As always, Sam, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining us this Friday at last minute. And we can't appreciate this enough. Thank you so much for always sending us a box and keeping us up to date with what you got going on.
And really, it's been a great relationship with you personally and with Boveda professionally. So it's been you guys have been part of the first box, and you'll be part of it forever. So I get a lot of people that want me to switch to those other brands, and there's no way I would ever do it. No way.
Appreciate it.
We sure appreciate it.
Couldn't fathom it. You guys are the world leader in humidification, and everybody else is just trying to take a piece of that. So
Yeah.
I'm happy to be with you guys. You guys have been very supportive, and I'll continue to show you mine.
Awesome, man. We can't wait for you to open up that new location. It'll be a destination for any Stogiebird member or anyone that's interested in understanding where the word Stogie came from and getting their hands on some great cigars. And you said, Sam, that you are only going to carry local libations at that bar, which is so cool because if you're interested in local drinks, he's going to have them all the way out from the hard alcohol all the way up to the beers.
Right. Beer, wine, and spirits will all be local.
Oh, that's super cool.
What I was going to say was kind of off subject, but what's funny is when I watch every box video that I get tagged in or that I'm available to see that opens, a Stogiebird. And there's more comments about when this thing pops out of the bag than any cigar I've ever put in it. It's always talk about and there's a Boveda pack, and there's like a 5-minute speech about this instead of, maybe, I don't know, this.
Right.
So you guys are doing something right. And like I said, I'm happy to be a partner with you guys.
But that's you guys choosing to make sure that they ship fresh. I mean, what a waste to ship me cigars that aren't fresh and ready to smoke.
Right.
Well, and we do a huge international business. So the quality of our cigars to the end user is incredibly important to us. It's incredibly important to us. And that's why we take all the air out of the bag. We didn't used to do that. We used to just kind of get most of the air out and heat seal them. But especially with some of the naked cigars, they bounce, they rub against each other just in the smallest little bit of friction, damages those cigars, especially when you're dealing with something, that's going overseas and things. International shipping is anything but consistent. So it could take 3 days to get somewhere internationally, or it could take, 3 months with the same price that you pay on them. There's just no rhyme or reason to it. And I don't mean to say 3 months, but these cigars, they're rated for up to a year in that bag. There's nothing that that could,
more than that.
Yeah.
More importantly, like, here's proof. I literally just ripped open this box today. I hadn't even opened it and looked through it. And Sam, you were like, hey, I sent you 4 rough grouse in there, so that's not part of the box. And I was like, oh, really? Right when we got on this program beforehand. So I literally ripped this open. And the fact of the matter is, I judge a good Cigar of the Month Club whether or not I can pull that cigar out and smoke it right away.
Yep.
And this thing was not like too squishy, but it was squishy and ready and humidified properly. And I'm getting all the flavors out of it. that is a huge feat because
Yep.
this goes through so many different changes. It's dry, it's hot, it's going through temperature changes, and the Boveda is in there working the whole time. I don't know. I'm from Boveda. I'll get off my soapbox now, but dang.
But it's a
super
very big part of how we can provide a fresh product to our end users. So you're a very big part of that. And like you said, I can ship this to Thailand. I can ship this to wherever. We ship these, and we're in almost 30 countries. And sometimes these things get hung up and they get worried, like, hey, my cigar's been sitting for 2 weeks. I'm like, your cigar's good for a year.
You're set.
Let's just keep tracking it, make sure you get it, but don't worry
Customs
about
will
the
get
quality
it
of your
through
cigars.
eventually, and you'll be fine, and you'll be like, oh my God, I love it. And they're not damaged and cracked because they're fortified in 6 boxes by the time you're opening.
And what's
it.
really helped us is totally taking out all that air now. Like I said, it's not something we always did. It's our new policy is we do suck all the air out of that. They're vacuum, heat sealed, vapor lock bags. And one of my first reviews you did when we first started, I don't think we'd been up, for a couple of months. You had knocked our bag, and I'm like, never again. So I talked to you about bags, and we researched it, and we got the perfect bag. We spared no expense because the most important thing is what's keeping those cigars fresh.
Yeah, because before you were just basically had like a U-line 2mm bag, which is fine. It's good for moisture barrier, but it's not great for me to carry around. And this, when I went and visited you out in Pittsburgh, you loaded me up with cigars. I swear to God, I almost had like 20 cigars in here.
Sure.
And yeah, you can easily fit 20. They don't fit in those boxes with 20 cigars, but bags fit 20.
But
yeah,
I remember we went out to dinner, and Fred from previously from Nomad Cigars was with us, and I was like, hey, you want to go have a cigar after dinner? And he's like, sure. And I was like, dumping out all these cigars. I'm like, here you go, take a pick. And it was just great because that bag just provided me to walk around that evening with this, and I didn't have to worry about humidity fluctuations and flavor. And there's a ton of stuff on the back. I mean, you got the QR code, you got the whole story, you got pretty much everything right there. If you don't know what it's about, you need to open up your eyes and read it. It's amazing. So appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Sam.
This was
appreciate
great.
You guys.
Thank you so much for joining us on a Friday. What a better way to close it out with a nice cigar and a good conversation and an opportunity to try more sticks. Keep it up, Sam. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate what you guys do. And thanks for the opportunity to let me talk about Stogiebird. We love what we do. And so it's nice to get a chance to talk about it on your show. I know you've got quite the following, so I appreciate being part of your show. Great to have you.
Everyone out there, thank you for watching. If you want a discount on the first box, 15% off, use the code Boveda on stogiebird.com, and you will get your first subscription or first box, whatever you're buying. Even if it's a one-time gift, you get 15% off. And I don't know how long that will run, but it might run indefinitely. So just keep using that code. And if not, Sam will hook you up regardless.
You got it.
All right. Appreciate it, guys. Have a great weekend. Thank you all for joining me.
Thanks, guys.